This segment is sponsored by Faith Hospice. Navigating all of the decisions that must be made as a loved one nears end of life can be difficult, and that's where hospice care can help. Benjamin Jacobs is Director of Operations at Faith Hospice, and he joins us now to talk about the many services that they provide. Hi, Benjamin.
Hi.
It is a difficult time and so many decisions to be made, and you're going through your own grieving process. How does Faith Hospice come around a patient and family to help them navigate those difficulties?
I think a lot about how difficult it is because it's so new to a lot of people when they go through that. It's not an experience that everybody gets to go through if they're helping a loved one through that end of life process. You have some family members who are more involved than others, just out of proximity sometimes and their relationships, and it's scary. I would never tell somebody that it's not a scary process to face end of life or terminal illness. But I think the benefit of hospice is having somebody who specializes in that, is surrounded by that from day to day, to be able to provide some comfort and some education to help you through that journey.
You surround each patient with a customized plan for their care, and it's the care of the patient as well as the loved ones.
Yeah.
And you do everything, I know, from palliative care, creating a comfort for the patient, to spiritual care, you name it, you sort of meet their every needs.
Yeah, they're surrounded by a team, like you had mentioned, to kind of touch on all those different aspects of end of life, from the physical aspects of it and how to manage that well, to the emotional and spiritual aspect of that too. You'll have a dedicated team member who specializes in something like that.
One of the things Faith Hospice offers is inpatient care in a special unit, Trillium Woods. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that is unique. Not every hospice organization has their own inpatient unit. Ours is Trillium Woods, and they have 20 beds there that are available. And it can be utilized in a number of different ways. Some of our patients end up using it for respite, which is actually a benefit that their families are able to use too. Because a lot of times with hospice, the hospice team doesn't just come in and completely take over all of the care. We help the family and come alongside the family to help support them as they continue to care for their loved one. And that can be a really difficult task and quite taxing. So for a lot of people, there's a respite benefit that's part of their insurance where they can come, their loved one can come to Trillium, spend some time there, and the family can get a bit of a break and then have their loved one go back home and continue to resume care there. But there are also some other advantages to Trillium. And if you've not been there before, it is a beautiful facility and it feels very home-like.
Nice. How does a person qualify for hospice care?
Yeah, great question. It's not terribly complex. It does require that two physicians have determined that a particular person has a terminal illness, and then that terminal illness, if it was to run its normal course, and I would say in quotes normal course, that they'd have a 6-month or less prognosis towards the end of life. So that's essentially what would qualify somebody.
You help with the care with the patient, but then you go beyond, right? The death of the loved one.
Yeah. So if you're referencing our bereavement support, that's part of hospice. That is a wonderfully beneficial piece of support that families can benefit from. And it is unique as far as medical type care and support. Like you had mentioned at the beginning, hospice is very much a service, not just to help a patient, but to help their families as well. And bereavement obviously it's a big part of that.
It is a privilege to be with somebody at end of life, and you do so much to help make that experience as good as it can be. And we want to let folks know if they want more information, you can find it on the website. It is faithhospicecare.org. Ben, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Catherine.